afternoon, I'm Raylene Ramsey. This is your afternoon news fix for Tuesday, the 12th of November. The Prime Minister says he is proud of how today's Crown apology to survivors of abuse and care was conducted. Chris Luxon addressed Parliament and a public gallery of survivors, as well as hundreds watching the live stream around the country. He's promised funding to bolster the current redress system while a new one is set up, and to strip public honours from known abusers. Government agency leaders, including from Oranga Tamariki, Police and the Solicitor General, also apologised in the face of heavy heckling. Luxon says there's a range of perspectives in the survivor community.
We're dealing with 50 years of abuse and state care. Everyone has a different experience of that. What I would say is that our government is taking this responsibility incredibly seriously.
Secretary for Education Andy Jackson told survivors the harm experienced in care was unacceptable.
As children and young people, you were particularly vulnerable and should have been protected and kept safe.
Children's Minister Karen Shaw has been vocal about her experiences in state care as a child. She says it felt confusing and interesting today to have a foot in two different worlds.
One being a victim of harm in the past, and one being in a space where I can make changes there. It was quite humbling.
In other news, the Prime Minister says he didn't get into the nitty-gritty on free trade with the US while talking with Donald Trump this morning. Chris Luxon says he's keen to pursue a trade agreement, but that wasn't the focus today.
It's really a relational call to make sure that we have an established relationship so that we can move forward from here. And so it was a very positive, very warm, a good connection.
Economic relief still elusive for retailers ahead of sales season. Stats NZ figures show electronic card transactions increased slightly from September to October, but year-on-year spending's fallen 1.1%. In September, the annual figures fell 5.6%. Retail NZ Chief Executive Carolyn Young says that's concerning.
Being behind where we were in 2023 when the market conditions were also poor, but just shows how difficult the trading environment is.
Loneliness is rife among older New Zealanders. A report from Age Concern Auckland has found 59% recently felt lonely or socially isolated. 30% often feel that way. It recommends appointing a Minister for Loneliness to help foster connections. Chief Executive Kevin Lamb says if action's not taken, more people will end up in hospital, need assisted living or suffer from mental health issues.
These things all cost, and if we can prevent loneliness and isolation, we can reduce the cost on the other side. And it's much better to do the prevention than is trying to support people when it's too late.
To sport, and a host of young talent have earned full-time contracts with the Blues for next year's Super Rugby campaign. Among the 7 fresh faces are fullback Peyton Spencer, son of former All Blacks first five Carlos, and loose forward Shay Clark. The Highlanders have signed former Blues hooker Suani Vakina, winger Caleb Tangiato, and former Hurricanes loose forward TK Howden to their roster. Kiwi Dutch all-rounder Logan van Beek's taken a 5-4 and scored a century for Wellington against Auckland in domestic cricket's Plunket Shield. I'm Raylene Ramsey. That is your latest news fix. We'll be back with the next update tomorrow morning from the Newstalk ZB newsroom.